Hello, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between and beyond. My name is Taylor, and welcome to the OverAchievers Podcast, episode 37. So, you're finally awake. Joining me today is a brand new guest, and one with a reputable YouTube channel of his own. Please help me welcome Faceless Opinion.
Hello and welcome. I am Faceless Opinion, currently in AA, but not that type of AA, because I like all the achievements, and I'm gonna admit I have a problem, but I don't want to solve it.
Oh my, okay, that's that's quite the intro. I'm here for it. If you do ever find yourself in the other type of AA, please do seek help. That is important. That being said, Faceless Opinion, as I mentioned, is a fellow YouTuber with an amazing channel who does a lot of content on various games. And I will make sure his channel, as well as any videos I include of his footage, are linked in the description down below, so please do check him out. Faceless, how are you today?
I am A-OK, minus all the technical issues, but I hope everything moves smoothly and everything is good because, my God, I don't want you to deal with any more hassles than you need to.
Well, I mean, hey, I appreciate you coming on the channel, recording this, so I will take any technical issues on my end or anything that slows me down, as long as you don't have to suffer because you're doing me a favor that I do appreciate.
Of course, and I'm really glad to be here. Hopefully it will be a good show for everyone listening, watching, or however you are taking in this content.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too. I hope this goes well, and we can have you on for more episodes, because I know we've talked a little bit about some other games that I think will be an interesting episode.
Yes, but let's not spoil the listeners now. Let's have it a surprise for later. Depending on if they like me, they could hate my guts and be like, we never want that Faceless guy again. He sounds like a lunatic.
I've had a couple crazes on here before. I'm crazy myself, so I'm not too worried about it. Anyway, you're right, we should get on with the show. So, what game are you going to be talking about today?
I'm going to talk about one of the most memed on games that has had so many re-releases throughout the course of the many years that basically, well, let's be honest, if you're in the gaming sphere for as long as you've been, I'm pretty sure you've heard of a little game called Skyrim, or the technical term, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
You know what, I think I've heard it once or twice. I think I tried to play it on my smart fridge once, and it just wasn't quite there yet.
I know, I'm waiting for Bethesda to release the version where I can play it in my car, and every time I honk the horn, the shout activates. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh, that'd be incredible. Just a self-driving electric car, and you're just playing Skyrim the whole time. There you go. Okay, now how many achievements does So, normally I'd ask for like a brief overview of what the game is. I think, as you mentioned, everyone and their mother knows what Skyrim is. So we'll skip that for now, but how many achievements does Skyrim have in total?
Alright, so there are 76 total trophies, and if you hear me say the word trophies, because I'm a PlayStation gamer and that's the big thing I use, so trophies, achievements, interchangeable with it because I know Skyrim's cross-platform, but 76 trophies, there's 51 in the base game, and then there's 3 DLC packs, which add like another 25.
Okay, so about 76 would that be total?
Correct.
Hang on, are you talking about Fallout 76?
I mean, we are talking about Bethesda, and Bethesda's known for their issues.
Oh god, yeah, I await the day that I get someone on here who has gotten all achievements in Fallout, or trophies in Fallout 76.
Are there even achievements in? I'm pretty sure there are, but not that I've heard of.
I have no idea, I'm just spitballing. So this is going to be a kind of a weird question, and I kind of know the answer. Was this your first time playing the game, like when you decided to go for all achievements, or did you kind of, play it, come back to it, play it, come back to it?
I have a very tumultuous relationship with Skyrim. This came out in like 2011, so I was like freshman in high school at the time. I played it like in early 2012, so not immediately when it came out, and I've been on and off of it for like many years. Like, I've technically gotten all the achievements and trophies on it technically twice.
Oh my, and wait, as in like 2 separate accounts, or as in you got them and then they released more?
2 separate accounts, because first time I did it was on my Xbox 360 during high school.
Okay.
Then I did it again on PlayStation during college, and I technically have the PC version as well, but I haven't spent the time to do that one, and knowing me, I'll probably do it on PC at some point.
Oh god, okay. Doing it a third time, I can't imagine.
I know, which is why I'm kind of reluctant to do it the third time, because I've done it twice. Do I really want to throw in another countless number of hours into it again.
Well, I mean, the other thing with PC, though, is you do get mod support.
Which is technically true, because one of the big reasons why I got Skyrim for PC, because I wanted to play a specific mod for it, because I don't know how familiar you are with Skyrim mods, but there was this one that I heard a lot of good things about. It was called Enderall, which was basically a mod overhaul. Think of it like Skyrim, but harder, and a lot more interesting stuff.
Yeah, I've heard about that one. There's so many mods out there, though, that I can never decide if I want to come back to it and, like, you know, do a specific mod, or if I just want to, like, leave it, because there's so many good ones out there.
Like, I greatly recommend Enderall. I made a video on Enderall talking about it's really good.
Okay.
The mod itself is free, which is honestly because you can get it on Steam, because it's like its own game. All you need is like Skyrim or Skyrim Special Edition. I recommend Special Edition, so you can get Special Edition of Enderall, because Special Edition of Enderall has a lot of new stuff that base Enderall doesn't have.
Okay, interesting. That's really cool.
And I know Enderall has its own achievements as well. I got like half of them.
Oh my goodness.
I would love to get all the achievements for it, but the big issue is because it's a mod.
Yeah.
So there's not that many guides for it, particularly for collectibles and things like that. So.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And it's such a huge game. Like, I don't think it's bigger than Skyrim, but it's pretty big.
That's fair. Okay. Now, I'm curious, what made you want to get all the trophies in Skyrim? Well, technically all the achievements and trophies, given you did it twice. Like, what made you want to do it in the first place?
What made me do it? Because, like, I kind of always liked Skyrim, because I always thought it was kind of cool, because, like, before Skyrim, I never played many fantasy-type games or RPG games, even though a lot of people kind of like to use air quotes around RPG for Skyrim, because other RPGs are better. Skyrim's not the best RPG. Okay. I consider Skyrim like baby's first RPG, but it is kind of interesting.
That's fair. I would agree. There's a lot of more complex RPGs that are definitely better, but yeah, for the wider audience just getting into it for the first time, it's a great starting point.
Yeah, okay. Definitely for sure. So what got me into Skyrim, like, originally when I first started playing Skyrim, I kind of didn't like Skyrim, oddly enough, and I kind of stopped playing it for a little bit because, like I said, I never really played a lot of fantasy RPGs before, and like I had really no knowledge about anything, so I was going in kind of blind, not knowing stuff. First ever character I made in Skyrim was an Argonian wizard.
Oh, that's such an interesting combo.
Like, I was looking at a lot of the character creation stuff, I'm like, oh, the Argonians look really freaking cool. It's like Lizard Man. I'm like, I want to pick something unique and different, so I wanted to do that, so because I like Argonians. And I did Wizard because, like, oh, magic sounds kind of cool. Little did I know that Skyrim's magic system is not good. And unless you know what you're doing, it's gonna be very, very hard in the beginning.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
And I think there was, like, one moment, like, when I was doing early Skyrim, like, I was attacked by some mercenaries because, like, apparently I might have stole something from someone, and sometimes you get the random event, like, oh, mercenaries are gonna come and they're gonna try and rough you up. And, like, I was getting my ass handed to me so many times. Like, I literally had to hop up on the little building at the Whiterun stables to get away from them and waiting for my magicka to recharge. That took, like, 20 minutes, and after I was like, I'm stepping away.
No, that's fair. What difficulty were you playing on your first time?
I think it was, like, one of the lower difficulties as well, because don't forget, I did not have a good understanding of the magic system in Skyrim.
That's
and
fair.
With as many years removed from it and more experienced as I am, I can honestly say I still don't understand the magic system.
It's not the best in terms of, especially even what Bethesda's created. Like, have you had any experience with the other Elder Scrolls titles?
No, I've wanted to play Oblivion, but it's so old, the graphics are like, But I know from what I've heard, I don't know if there's any truth for it or not, but I've heard rumors of an Oblivion remake. If it's definitely true, I definitely want to try it out, but if it's not, it is what it is.
I fully understand the hesitation. I remember playing Oblivion when I was in junior high or high school, one of the two. And for the time, the graphics were decent. They weren't great. But yeah, looking back on it now, it's like that would be difficult to play if you didn't have the nostalgia for it, but it definitely had a much better, more complex magic system that I could really engage with.
Yeah, like, I know back to the Enderall thing, because, like, their magic system is similar to Skyrim's, but I think they overhauled it more, where I think magic is a bit faster on the regen, and a lot of the spells don't use as much magicka, and you have a wide variety of magic you can do.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Interesting. So, I'm assuming you have returned to the game since getting all achievements.
Yeah, I have.
Was that to play mods, or was that to just, explore miscellaneous things you didn't do before?
I haven't done a large amount of stuff with the mods, because Enderall was its own big thing to do, because it's not like a short modded story. It has its own proper... I honestly say the story of Enderall was a lot longer than main quest Skyrim.
Oh, wow, okay. Interesting. Okay, I'm curious to check it out now, but I have so many other things. I'm like, do I really want to add that to the list?
I recommend it. I really recommend it. And if you already have Skyrim or Skyrim Special Edition already installed on Steam, you can just get Enderall easily. It's free.
That's fair. That's fair. I've got a lot of other stuff lined up, but I will definitely have to check it out, given your glowing endorsement and how much time I'm assuming you have. Speaking of which, how long did it take you? At least, let's say for one of the playthroughs, either on 360 or on PS4, whichever one you can pull up easier.
Because I tried to double check the amount of time I spent on Skyrim on my PS4, because I don't have access to my 360 anymore because it's dead. It died a while ago.
Rip.
Well, for PS4, I tried to find the exact number, but I could not find a number. It would not show me how many hours I spent on that. So
that's
the
interesting.
number I'd probably give is speculation, but going off of PSN profiles, because that's the big guide I use for a lot of the stuff to help me with that, it says roughly 125 hours for base Skyrim, not factoring in DLCs, but since I was knowing what I was doing, but yeah, again, knowing me, and I like to kind of joke around and do random stuff to pass the time, because it's Skyrim. You're not going to take it super seriously if you know what you're doing.
Okay.
So, if we're talking about the amount of time overall I spent with Skyrim, the hours are unquantifiable.
Fair enough. That is fair. Okay, interesting. I was curious to see how this was going to play out, because especially with an RPG like Skyrim, you can spend, like you said, unquantifiable amount of time. So I was expecting some big numbers, and I'm really not surprised.
Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if someone told me you spent 4-digit hours on Skyrim, and I'd be like, I'm not surprised.
Fair enough. I'm glad you got such value out of the game at the very least.
Oh yeah, a lot of the interesting fun times with it, even though most playthroughs you end up doing the Shadow Archer build.
Yep, Sneak Archer for the win.
It's a useful build, but oh god, you don't get to branch off that much.
No, it's very much railroaded. Okay, so I'm curious now, what were the hardest and easiest achievements for you personally?
The hardest and easiest achievements. I say the easiest one was Blessed, which basically you find one of the standing stones. That's the second trophy or achievement you can get in the game. It's you walk past the Guardian Stones, boom, you're blessed. Just use one of them.
Fair enough.
Easy.
Okay. Seems easy enough, yep.
Well, the hardest, I would say, is one of the DLC trophies, and it's going to be legendary. You have to defeat a legendary dragon. However, they don't spawn till level 78.
Oh god. And if I remember correctly, max level was 80?
I believe so, but I think due to I forget if it was one of the DLCs, if it was Dawnguard that did this, but you can make skills legendary and you can level them up indefinitely, so you can go beyond it.
Oh, yes, for I think it was the Ogma Infinium glitch.
Yeah, I know that glitch, but I don't think that's what I was going with, because there was a thing, if you have a skill, you reach 100, you have the option to make it legendary, which resets it back to 15, so you can level it up again.
Right, I forgot about that. Because I never ended up doing that. Well, I completely forgot. Okay, yes, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
To give you an idea of how long that takes to, because at level 80, you can fight the Ebony Warrior, so that's how long it takes for you to try and get a legendary dragon.
And so, okay, I'm curious. Oh, right, there's no achievement for defeating the Ebony Warrior, is there?
There is not. I feel like that would have been a better achievement.
Which do you think is a harder fight, the Ebony Warrior or a legendary dragon?
Ebony Warrior.
Okay, and why is that?
Because if you know what you're doing with dragons, you can beat them pretty easily. If you have Dragon Rend, you can just stomp them easily.
Fair enough. Okay. I guess that makes sense. And, okay, how about this? What were the most and least funs for you to get?
Alright, most fun, I would say, is the achievement Delver, where you get to go to 50 dungeons. Granted, that can take a long time, but if you like dungeon crawling, it's kind of cool. And like a lot of the dungeons are kind of unique with a lot of different things. Like, I like the Nordic ruins, those are like the classics, but my personal favorite, the one I love exploring, are the Dwemer ruins, because I love automatons, I love machinery. Like the dwarven spiders, the spheres, the centurions, they all look so cool.
That is fair. It is a really interesting mix to have that kind of steampunk dwarven aesthetic mixed in with the fantasy. It's really sad that we don't get to see dwarven characters, though.
Yeah, like I love the Dwemer ruins because of a lot of the machinery, but I also hate them at the same time because I hate the Falmer. I hate them so much.
Fair. Okay, that makes sense. And how about the least fun?
The one that I think is the least fun would have to be one with the shadows, and for this one, you basically have to return the Thieves Guild back to its former glory. So what you have to do is, you have to do a whole bunch of Radiant quests in each major city. So Whiterun, Solitude, Markarth, and what was the last one? Windhelm. There we go.
Okay.
You have to do like 5 Radiant quests in each city. And after doing those 5 Radiant quests, you have to do 1 extra quest to like try and like get proper influence in the city. And that doesn't sound that bad, but the issue is when you talk to people to get the Radiant quest, it's randomized which city you go to.
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
So you could be trying, I need 1 more quest from Markarth, but they keep giving you like Whiterun or Riften, or if you have the Dragonborn DLC, you have to go to Raven Rock and go all the way to Solstein. And it's like, ugh.
Oh no, so I didn't realize it included
It does.
DLC. That's insane.
And like, I feel like it's not worth it to do all of that. That's like, if there's a reason why not a lot of people get all of it, I'd say this is probably one of the reasons. Not the sole reason, but probably one of the reasons, because it's just a lot of work to do that. It really is.
That's fair. That is fair. So, kind of branching question. I'm curious, I'm assuming the Thieves Guild was your least favorite guild to work with, but which was your most favorite guild or faction to work with, including the DLC ones?
I mean, I don't dislike the Thieves Guild. I like their story a lot. The big issue is just that end bit with all the grind. That's the big issue with it. The one I liked the most was actually the Dark Brotherhood. I thought they had the best story. I found a lot of the characters in it interesting, because Cicero is amazing, Nazir is amazing. Granted, there's some flaws with it, but I overall think it was one of the better ones.
Nice.
We're talking about ones I dislike. College of Winterhold. Hands down, I hate the College of Winterhold.
Really? Why is that?
Because there's a lot of reasons, and if you ever watch my reason of when I have a discussion of the College of Winterhold, you'll know a lot about it, but big reason was you don't get to use magic that often. Like, there's only like 3 times in the entire questline where magic is required.
Fair.
And then I just hated the story. Like the Sigic Order, I despised. I straight up called them the Deus Ex Machina mages.
Yeah, okay, I can see why. Having done a lot of this stuff myself as well, I can absolutely see why. Okay.
So yeah, I never really liked College of Winterhold, always hated it. Companions, they're okay, but just forgettable. I straight up call them a werewolf cult because that's what they are.
Absolutely, no question here.
Because if you're familiar with Elder Scrolls lore, Hircine, werewolves, they're basically praying to Hircine, and by that logic, it makes them a cult.
Yep. Okay.
Well, for other quest lines and factions, the Dawn Guard, like, I like the Dawn Guard DLC, it was really good. I always side with the Dawn Guard. Never liked siding with the vampires, because bleh. And then Civil War, who cares?
Oh, fair enough. I can understand that. Okay. Let's see. What is the rarest one on the list?
Alright, so are we talking about, like, rarest per, like, base game and every DLC respectively, or how are we gonna...
Well,
Praise
it
that.
depends. Do you have the rarest for base and DLCs, or just the rarest overall?
I actually do, yes.
Then why don't we go with base and DLC, given that not necessarily everyone will have the DLC or the special edition, which includes all the DLC.
Right, so rarest one in base game is Oblivion Walker, in which you have to collect all 15 Daedric artifacts, and according to PSN profiles, the rarity was 15.63%.
That's still pretty decent.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that this was the rarest one, though.
Huh. Why is that?
Because I never had the issues with collecting all the Daedric artifacts, but yet again, my situation's probably different from others, and like thinking about it a bit more, for some of the Daedric quests actually, a lot of the artifacts are technically missable.
Okay, that's fair.
Because
Interesting.
like few of the examples that I can think of at the top of my head is, one was a Taste of Death, where you can get the Ring of Nermina, the one with the cannibalism. Like if you killed that cannibal lady in the crypt in Markarth, like the quest automatically fails. You don't get access to it.
Which is kind of sucks. Like, I do appreciate the open-endedness and like the player choice, but it does kind of suck that you miss out on it for doing something like that.
That was one of them. Another one was the Skull of Corruption in Dawnstar with the Nightmares. If you don't kill the priest of Mara Arender, that he'll end up destroying the Skull of Corruption, which is kind of a tough aspect because you need the Skull of Corruption for the artifacts, but I also like Arender. I consider him a very good follower, so
Gotcha.
And then there was also the one with Clavicus Vile and his dog.
Okay, yep, I remember that one.
Because the Mask of Clavicus Vile, you need that for the achievement, but the Runeful Axe does not count for it at all.
Okay.
I think there's probably more as well, but those are like the three big ones that come to mind. I'm pretty sure there's more, but those are the three big ones.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. Okay, what about the DLCs?
Alright, for the Dawnguard DLC, for the one that was listed was Werewolf Mastered, where you get all 11 werewolf perks, because in Dawnguard, they amped up the werewolf transformation to have it like an upgrade tree to make it better, and they also have one for the Vampire Lord as well. And those two were actually neck and neck, but werewolf kind of itched up a little bit, so that's the more rare. And I can understand why that one's rare, because there's a lot of grinding for it.
That's fair. That's fair. I remember you have to transform into werewolves, or into a werewolf, and get the kills in werewolf form to level that one up, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you have to feed on the dead bodies.
Okay. Right.
Which probably makes sense that werewolf would be harder than Vampire Lord, because Vampire Lord, all you have to do is just the life drain spell, while for werewolves you actually have to feed and consume.
Right, I forgot about that. Okay.
Next would be Her Fire, and that one's going to be Master Architect, and that's just building all three houses.
Which
The
is
big
weird,
issue with that,
Sorry, go ahead.
because the big thing with that just takes a lot of money.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it doesn't seem like a hard one to achieve.
Yeah, but for all the other ones in the Her Fire one, that makes sense that would probably be the rarest.
That's fair. That is fair. Okay, and what about the Dragonborn DLC?
Dragonborn is going to be Dragon Rider, where you tame and ride 5 dragons.
Now, because you just get a shout to ride the dragons, right?
Yeah, you have to use Bend Will on them, and then you have them tamed, and then you can just hop on them and ride them. I think the big reason why this one is the more rare one for Dragonborn is because A, you're more likely to kill the dragons to seal the souls and amp yourself up, because let's be real honest, that's what we want to do. And B, the flying mechanic is not that great.
Okay, I've never tried it. I've played Skyrim many times, not that you can see on my Steam profile, because it was an old... No, I played it on 360, not on Steam. And I've never played the Dragonborn DLC, but I've played the other two.
Dragonborn is a pretty good DLC. It's not
So I've
bad.
heard.
I like Mirak, the main antagonist of it. I find him very interesting. Is he the most compelling? Maybe not, because a lot of the antagonists and villains in Skyrim I can sum down as to power-hungry, narcissistic megalomaniac.
Fair.
But I think the big thing, like the flying mechanic, is just not awful, because you're technically not flying. You don't get to control where the dragon goes. Not really. Think of it like a taxi service or an Uber. You tell the dragon, head in that direction, and they'll just fly in. Don't even get me started on the combat while riding a dragon. Ugh. Blech.
Okay, good to know. I have heard negative things about it, but yeah, I never really thought about how it actually worked. But yeah, that does sound just really annoying. What about the most memorable one for you?
Most memorable for one for me would probably be married, where you get married.
Okay. Who did you choose as a marriage partner?
Uh, I've had I've had so many playthroughs, and I have so many people I picked for spouses.
Okay.
One of the big ones I picked was Camilla Valerius. She was the one of the shopkeepers for the what was the name of that place? Riverwood Trader in Riverwood.
Yes.
There we go. I'm remembering
Yes.
now. So I married her a couple times. I also married Braylina. She was one of the Dark Elf students at the College of Winterhold. The only good thing to come from the College of Winterhold. I honestly
Fair.
have a funny running joke on the channel because when I this is probably gonna out me a little bit, but if people are coming to my channel to see my Skyrim videos, I made a video talking about the top 10 Skyrim waifus, and I
Oh,
literally
God,
called
okay.
it that.
No, fair enough.
And
Fair enough.
Braylina was on the list, and I think I made the running joke just like, and I said so straight face, I have to admit something. I love me some Dark Elf booty.
Oh my God.
I said a lot more messed up stuff in that video.
No,
It's
that
so
I mean, hey,
unhinged.
that is your channel, your right to say what you will.
Some of it was half jokes, but sort of joke serious, but like, you gotta do what you gotta do to get people to laugh and pay attention.
No, that's
But
fair.
the funniest thing in that video was, you remember Aella the Huntress, you know, the iconic lady from the Companions?
Yes, honestly, she was the one I usually married in my playthroughs.
Yeah, I purposely did not put her on my top 10 list.
Oh, I bet.
And I
that
had a
people
running joke at the
riled.
very end where I'm just like, I'm ending the video, and then I start banging on my desk like, oh no, the Aella fanboys are coming to get me because I didn't put her on the list. I gotta go, bye. And then at the very end, I put a clip of that meme where the FBI, open up! And they're just coming to get me.
Nice. So, okay. I guess question related to that video, would you have put Ayla on the list if it weren't for the meme?
Legitimately, I would put her pretty high. I feel like 10 to 1 I might read. If I was to redo videos, or if I was like ranking all the possible wife candidates, I would say she'd probably, I don't know, probably be in the top 10, but I don't consider her top 10. Because, like, don't get me wrong, she's very beautiful, but, like, when it comes to me for spouses and stuff like that, I don't like to pick followers as spouses.
Okay. No, that's
And then
fair.
there's
I can
also the
understand.
aspect of, no, companions are technically a cult, and she's very devout in her following, so I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah, that's fair. It'd be a little weird. Okay. Okay. Now, this is what I'm really curious about. Is there an achievement you would remove from the game, and why?
There's technically 2 I would want to remove. One of them is Master Criminal, and for that one, you have to get a bounty of 1,000 gold in each hold city at the same time. I don't know why that's a thing. I think it's kind of dumb. And if you're doing the RP type of stuff like, oh, I'm a good person, I don't want to do anything like that. So it's kind of like a, why would you do that? And then there's also the aspect of like, granted you can always like, reload to an earlier save before you go on a murder spree, but like, why is this a thing?
No, that's fair. Okay. What do you think would be the fastest way to get to that 1,000 bounty? Just straight up murder?
Murder, that's an automatic 1,000 gold right there. If you don't want to kill someone important, just kill a guard and make sure someone sees it.
Fair enough. Okay.
And then, other one I'd say is pointless is A New You. I think this was added in Dawnguard DLC, in which they add a new character called the Face Sculptor. And if you pay 1,000 gold, you can change your face. And that's it, just your face. You can't change your character's race, gender, nothing like that, just the face.
Yes, I remember this because it's part of the Thieves Guild, right? Or like the character.
Yeah, she's in the Ragged Flagon, but she's not a part of the Thieves Guild. Maybe an affiliate, but not a part of the guild itself.
Fair enough. Okay. And yeah, that does seem like a pretty useless achievement.
Yeah, I remember making a fun theory about the Face Sculptor. I'm not going to spoil that one there because the people listening should probably watch that video because I'm kind of proud of it and that needs a little bit more views. It's shameless
Fair
plugging, I know, but I
Hey,
have no
that's-
shame.
There's nothing wrong with plugging, man. Don't worry about shameless. I invited you here. I mentioned the channel. It is absolutely your right, given you're a guest on here, to plug whatever you want to.
The rate this is going, I'll be Fameless the Shameless.
Okay. Is there... Okay, this is always a curious one. Is there an action or way of playing that there should be an official achievement for?
I think a few things that do come to mind. One of the things that I wish was an achievement that they would have done with is like, are you familiar with the Dragon Priest masks?
Yes.
I wish they'd done something for the Dragon Priest mask, because every playthrough of Skyrim I do, I always collect all the Dragon Priest masks.
Okay.
Because I just find them interesting and cool, and I wish more was done with their lore and stories and stuff, because they're so interesting. And I wish they had more involvement in the main story, because they serve the dragons. We're fighting the dragons. Why can't we do more of the Dragon Priests? Show the Dragon Priests some love.
That's fair. Okay. Is there an achievement for getting all their masks? I can't remember.
What you do with, at least in base Skyrim, there's like 8 masks you can collect. When you collect all of them, you have to go to Labyrinthian. There's a small little sanctuary within Labyrinthian. You go there, you find an extra mask lying on the ground called the Wooden Mask. You put that on, and some temporal magic, timey-wimey BS happens, and you go back to the sanctuary before it was destroyed. And then, if you have all 8 masks, you put them on the bust, and then you unlock a 9th mask.
Okay. And then that's an achievement?
No.
Oh. Well then.
I wish it was, but it isn't.
Okay, so well, I feel like there should definitely be an achievement for that, but also, I think it'd be cool if, and this is just me speculating, if like the Dragon Priest gave you either like a unique spell or a unique shout that was just different than anything else you could acquire, and there'd be no other way to get it other than having their mask.
I mean, technically, for one of the Dragon Priests, you can defeat Croesus, which is one of them, because he's not in a like tomb like the other ones. He's one of the odd ones. He's at a dragon lair, and at this specific dragon lair, you can get all 3 shouts to one specific shout. Bro voice, which is a gag shout.
Oh god, okay. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it definitely seems like they didn't do as much as they could have with that one, given how dragon-centric Skyrim is. Okay.
I think another achievement that they should have done, or at least a couple achievements, is like maybe more achievements based off of like how you defeat enemies, like, oh, using the bow this many times, or using melee weapons, or magic, or things like that, because, like I said, sooner or later you're going to end up doing the Shadow Archer build at some point.
Okay. That's fair. Have just like achievements that kind of push you in other directions to branch out your playstyle. That would be nice. Okay. Now, this is also what I'm curious about, because this happened to me a long time ago. Episode 12, for those of you who do know the podcast, I talked about this one. Are you able to soft lock yourself out of any achievements?
It's a Bethesda game. Glitches, bugs, that's always going to happen.
Fair. What do you think? Okay, let me rephrase the question. What do you think is the most likely achievement that is going to get bugged, in your experience?
I'd say for me, a few issues I had, it kind of loops back to the Oblivion Walker one, trying to get all the Daedric artifacts, because I remember one of the quests I was doing, I don't remember which one, it bugged out, and I had to reload it again, so that kind of does happen. And then, I wouldn't say soft lock happens, but you can technically miss certain trophies and achievements based off of decisions you make. Because, for example, Dark Brotherhood quest line, there's actually a secret that not a lot of people know, because like when Astrid abducts you and you have to kill one of the 3 scumbags in the abandoned shack, you can technically kill Astrid.
Okay.
And if you kill her, a different quest pops up called Destroy the Dark Brotherhood, in which, guess what happens?
You destroy the Dark Brotherhood?
Exactly.
And lock yourself out of quests. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, you lock yourself out of like the entire quest line, you don't get all the cool weapons, all the gold, and you miss out on 3 achievements as a result.
Okay. No, that's fair. See, I kind of figured there was the one for getting all of the 24 mysterious jewels, right? Or am I mistaken on that one?
Surprisingly, no.
Wait, what? Is there not?
No, because I was double checking all the trophies for it, for this, and it was not one of them, and I don't remember that being one, even though I technically have gotten all of them before.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, that's really weird. For some reason, I thought there was. I know there are some achievements that are like not quest related, item related. and that could be an issue.
Yeah, but the Stones of Berenjaya, nope, no achievements related to them. I technically done all of them. You end up getting the Crown of Berenjaya, and I straight up forgot what it gives you. Was it the ability to find more gems? I think that's what it was, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, I retract that statement then. That's a positive outcome. That what I was not expecting.
But we're talking about the collectible stuff. I'm glad the one thing they never made a collectible trophy was collect all 30 Nern roots in Blackreach.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
I know. I've only done that quest once out of all the times I've played Skyrim, because, just to see how it is. Not worth doing.
No, that's fair. That's yikes.
Which is why if you ever go to Blackreach, never collect the Crimson Nern roots, because if you do, automatically starts it.
I mean, you will just end up in Blackreach whether you like it or not.
Yeah, because you have to go there for story reasons in the main quest.
Yep. And I mean,
don't get me wrong, I like Blackreach. I think it's a really cool, unique place, but do not collect the Crimson Nern roots.
Fair. Also, almost every dungeon ends up in Blackreach.
Yeah, all the Dwemer ruins do lead there.
Okay. How many times do you need to play the game to get all achievements? Or, sorry, all trophies?
Only the one time.
That's nice.
You might need another time if, you end up missing something out. For heaven forbid if you destroy the Dark Brotherhood or you make the wrong decision on a Daedric artifact, but you can technically reload, but depending on how long ago it was.
Okay. No, that's fair. How long do you think it would take the average player to get all achievements, regardless of what the PlayStation thing says? From your own experience, just what do you think?
In my personal experience, first time, you're not looking up any information. You're probably gonna be in the three-digit mark with at least 100 hours bare minimum.
Okay, I think that's pretty reasonable expectation. Okay.
Because there's just so much to do in Skyrim, and people like to jump around a lot. Some people want to explore. Sometimes people just want to do random silly things. It just depends on the person.
That makes sense. Okay. And how many times? Sorry, does the game reward you for getting all trophies?
Do they reward you if you get all of them? No.
Does the game reward you for getting a specific achievement, or do you have to get the reward to then unlock the achievement?
I don't think you really get a big main reward for getting all of them. I think if you want to get a reward at probably personal satisfaction, you did it all. But the big thing is, Skyrim's not a hard game to get all of the achievements on. It's just very time consuming, very grindy in certain aspects of it. And if you feel like the satisfaction you get for getting all of them and looking at your list of all the claimed achievements and trophies was worth it, I guess that's the reward. But if you're actually looking for a reward in game, don't count on it.
Okay. That's fair. I think that's fair. I think that's true of a lot of games, unfortunately. Do the achievements themselves feel rewarding?
Do I think they feel rewarding? I'd say some of them do, a lot of the story-related ones for, main quests, or, a lot of the faction quests that you like. I feel like that can be satisfying, alright, I did all this. I feel accomplished, doing everything for my favorite faction, or I slayed Alduin, I'm the hero of Skyrim, or, oh, I beat Mirak, and Solstheim safe. I think it just depends on how you feel about certain quest lines and stuff. For some, I felt very accomplished, while for others, I'm yippee, I don't care about the Civil War quest line whatsoever. All the trophies for it don't mean anything to me.
No, that's fair. That is fair. Okay. Does it feel like the devs cared about the achievements in terms of how they were made, or they just kind of slapped together?
That's hard to say, as they did put in some trophies that are incredibly grindy, and I think we can all agree that I don't think we have an issue with the grind. It's just how much time we want to put into the grind. Then you just have some that are just random and make no sense.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. Does the game require you to get 100%, collect everything, do absolutely everything to get all trophies?
No, But the thing with Skyrim is, no one really agrees on what qualifies as 100%ing Skyrim, because I'm willing to admit I've not done every single dungeon in the game. I have not collected every single word to every single shout. So, some people consider getting all of the achievements as 100%ing it, which I technically fall into that camp as well, while others have different views for it. So it's one of those things like, nobody has a proper agreement on what we agree as, oh, this is 100%ing, this isn't 100%ing, because it's Skyrim. It's so open-ended on what you consider 100%ing it.
Yeah, okay. No, I think that's very fair. This is going to be an interesting one, and probably a pretty simple one. Do the achievements/trophies feel unique in the genre?
I would say they are what you would expect from this genre. Obviously, they have the specific trophies that pertain to gameplay mechanics, but nothing that would be deemed as overly unique or groundbreaking. Like, what they have, it makes sense for certain aspects of it. They're not reinventing the wheel, but I wouldn't say they're doing much with the wheel either.
Okay, that's fair. Now, I'm curious about this one. Did you use any guides, and are there any guides you would recommend other players use?
A couple guides can be used. The biggest one I use is PSN Profile, because honestly that's my go-to for a lot of the stuff. It's the biggest one because if you want to look up for tips and stuff like that, you're going to need a guide, because there's certain things you're just not going to be able to learn automatically, and there's certain things that require certain things but people might not know about. For example, getting married. Like, to actually unlock the ability to get married, you need to have a conversation with one specific NPC. Because you can look up just like, oh, Amlin Amara, I can get married that way, but like, you can put it on, like, oh, don't I have the option? Like, no, you need a conversation to activate that ability.
That's fair. Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
And then you just need to be aware of like other like conversations and stuff requests, because like a lot of the Daedric artifacts, like, there's different ways they can end, and you can like end up missing the artifacts.
Okay. Now, has this changed the way you look at the game, and do you regret going for all achievements?
Does it change the way I look at the game? Let me think about it. No, I don't think it has. My opinion of Skyrim is still the same that it has always been. Do I regret it? I would say no, since this isn't the first time I got all the achievements in the game. Like I said earlier, first time was on Xbox in high school, then PlayStation in college. I have PC, I'll do it on PC eventually, so it hasn't really changed my opinion of it. I've always maintained the same opinion of Skyrim regardless of if I had all the achievements or if I didn't have the achievements. Doesn't really change anything. Do I regret it? I mean, I technically did it twice, so if I didn't regret it the first time, I highly doubt I regret it the second time. Third time, let's not open that door. I haven't gotten to that point yet.
I would say third time's the charm.
I mean, technically true. But yeah, again, three strikes and you're out, so you never know.
Fair enough. Would you recommend others go for the all achievements or not? And is there any kind of player that would particularly enjoy or particularly hate this kind of experience?
Would I recommend other people to try and get all the achievements, to go for AA? Honest answer, no. Because, like I said earlier, it's a time commitment to try and do it. I would say play it just to play it and have some mindless fun, as that is what I truly consider it to be. You get to live out your power fantasy, you get to be an all-powerful being who can solo the Civil War, fight people that are basically gods. You can do whatever you want, so unless you have a major interest in the setting, a devout Elder Scrolls follower, or have nothing better to do and you just want to throw a whole bunch of hours into something, go for it. Get all the achievements, because I've been on record on my channel saying that Skyrim's not the greatest game to exist, which might surprise people because I have so many Skyrim videos on it, but I don't consider Skyrim my favorite. It's not even in my top 5. I put it in my top 10, but nowhere near my top 5. It has flaws. Many flaws. So many flaws. But I still enjoy it, and having experience, and I've almost experienced everything in it. Not everything, because there's still things that kind of surprise me, even to this day. How many years has it been since Skyrim came out? Like 13, 14 years since it came out?
14, because it came out originally in 2011.
Yeah. and it's 2025 in November, so probably be 14 later in the year. But all I want to say is, if you want to put the time into it, go for it. If not, that's perfectly fine too. Make your own decisions. You're your own person. Make your own choices. We're just people on the internet. Our opinions are our opinions. We don't really have the major sway towards it. Live your own life, Chief.
That's very fair. And it's really interesting because I agree with you that, Skyrim's not the most groundbreaking in terms of like new mechanics, in terms of like complex mechanics, RPG of all times, but it definitely has one of the strongest cultural impacts out there, and I think people they inflate Skyrim's quality in comparison to its influence. And it's really interesting because I was expecting this episode to be so much longer, like, an hour and a half, but, looking at the achievements and hearing you talk about it, I was like, it's really, like you said, it's a simple kind of starter RPG, which has its place for sure, but it's not this super complex thing that's gonna take up a whole bunch of time. It's like, you can do it. It's gonna be tedious, but you can do it, and it's just a long, relatively monotonous journey.
And it's rather straightforward. It's not like other RPGs where, like, you follow one path, and if you want to do the other path, you have to restart from the beginning. Like Skyrim, like, you can do all the faction quest lines in one playthrough. It doesn't contradict with each other. It's not like something like Fallout 4 where, like, you do the Brotherhood option, you end up blocking out the Railroader Institute. It's not like that. So Skyrim, like, you have a lot of that. You can do whatever you want. For better or for worse, that's what you get with it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, well, thank you so much, Faceless, for being here. I really appreciate having you on the channel.
Not a problem. Thank you, Taylor, for inviting me on. It was very fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. And thank you, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between and beyond, so much for being here. Make sure to check out Faceless Opinion's channel, link in the description down below. Check out all of their awesome videos. I know they got Skyrim, I know they got a couple other things that I don't want to mention quite yet, because I don't want to give away what we're going to be talking about in the next one. With that being said, though, hope you stick around. I promise, provided Faceless is willing, I will have him on the channel at a later date as well. And with that being said, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!
Bye, and catch you later. Until next time, I'll catch you all on the flip side.